Entertainment. Guess what we're talking about today?
Women.
Well, you know,
We're talking about women.
well, maybe have a bit more pizzazz, a bit more energy when you say woman. Because damn, you sounded disappointed.
We're talking about women!
Woo!
Anyway,
it's Women's History Month, as we all know. Last month was Black History Month. We got an
Yeah.
episode out for that, along with a few other episodes unrelated to Black History Month.
But now we're doing our
Women's History Month.
Yep. Episode since
It's
it is, you know,
Women's
close to it's like 3 days since the first of the month. So
Yeah,
it's pretty close.
It's about time we started making a topical episode for the
Yeah.
month. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about three
games that were made by
game franchises. BioShock
Yeah.
2 has...
Yeah.
Once again, BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite all had women involvement.
Yeah. So yeah,
The modern Tomb Raider games have all had involvement from the same creative director.
yeah, and then Lara
Portal
Croft
2.
is kind of
Everyone knows Lara
we
Croft.
need to talk about some of the characters
Oh,
too,
yeah,
like the
most of
prominent.
Most of the characters.
Yeah, most of the
like
characters in
BioShock
the game
Infinite's
are
Elizabeth
female.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft.
Lara Croft is a badass. I've been playing...
Real.
Dog, I've been playing the Tomb Raider games, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Lara Croft is a fucking demon. Oh my god. Like, I'm not kidding. The takedowns are so brutal. Like, compare that to the cutscenes where she's like, oh man, what a shame that this beautiful force is being exploited. In the combat, she's like Batman on steroids with a gun. It's like... The juxtaposition between the gameplay and the cutscenes is like
is so different because it's like one moment you're
it's like,
like-
oh man, that's unfortunate how that happened. Oh, this is such a cool artifact. The next minute she's stringing up special
Batman.
agents. She's stringing a special agents guy into the forest trees, man. Like,
it's wild.
and don't get me started on the melee takedowns. She gets violent, insanely so, and it's so funny. Because Lara Croft's like, oh man, that's unfortunate. They took my guns. I'm gonna string you up in the trees, boy.
Yep.
It's so funny. For no reason. It's great. I love it.
And then there's Portal 2.
Of the silent protagonist that is
Silent protagonist is I don't know her name, but it's a woman. It was Portal was made by a woman, and GLaDOS is
a woman. How dare you talk crap about GLaDOS?
it's half and half. It's half and half because she's a robot, so she's technically,
I'm gonna
you
half
know,
and half you through that wall.
but she's, yeah. You can see where I'm coming from.
I see where you're coming from. I disagree entirely, but well, I disagree halfly with you.
Yeah.
And BioShock, that absolute masterpiece of a game,
It's a great game.
was thought up by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sequel had the main villain be a woman.
Uh-huh.
And then the game after that, one of the main characters was a woman. Turns out it was actually your daughter, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different
Because,
thing.
like, BioShock's Infinite Lore decided, we're not gonna be simple. We're gonna be...
The most confusing thing. It's like basically reading a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It's worse than that. It's like reading two Yu-Gi-Oh cards that require each other to work, but if you only use
God.
one, it only works half as good as if you use them together. But if you use them together, you still don't know what they do together. It's so weird. But I love that game because the gameplay is fun. The guns look so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, BioShock looks really great.
BioShock Infinite looks magnificent. I love BioShock Infinite. That game is beautiful. And BioShock 1, I just got those vibes. BioShock 2 is just it's a really good Big Daddy simulator.
Yeah.
To the people who
Never seen
don't
it.
know what
Yeah,
BioShock is, that's gonna be so
so
confusing.
So let's probably explain that. So
Big
they know.
Daddies are basically monsters shoved inside of those like incredibly stereotypical
Like scuba diver suits, like with the big old helmet.
like the goldfish helmets that like
Like
the Scooby-Doo villain. What's his
yeah,
name?
yeah, like the diver villain from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, if you've ever seen that, or like any like 80s version scuba suit,
Yeah, it's basically just
that actually might be a lot older.
that. I think it's
The base,
it's a lot more wider than it is.
they are much bigger. They are
Yeah.
very big, actually.
Yeah, it's not like a human where it's like tall and kind of
It's a mutant.
you know, skinny.
It's a human with a bunch of like genomes shoved inside of him that has constant cell instability.
I don't know what is. I gotta.
I've played Bioshock. I know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm just
Don't question my Bioshock lore. How dare you, actually? How dare you question my lore?
I'm just kind of
daddies.
Yeah, and then they've got like the
power
multiple
drill.
glass
Yeah.
on them.
And then they got the power drill.
Yep, they got the power drill arm, and
What's funny is
they're just cool.
Yeah, what's funny is they're technically considered mini bosses, and you're meant to kill them to get access to little sisters, which you can either save or harvest.
Yeah.
And the harvesting is the scariest thing I've ever seen. Like, oh my god, I've never felt more like a villain in my entire life. However, that Adam is actually insanely not worth it. I'm gonna be honest. Saving them is a lot more like rewarding in the long term because you actually get more Adam per save in rewards later down the line than you would if you just instantly harvested them.
Yeah.
Not to mention you're not getting jumped by, a lot more splicers because apparently the more people you harvest, the more splicers tend to spawn per level.
Yeah.
And I hate splicers. Oh my god, splicers. And lead slinging splicers. Oh, I do not like them. Mainly because I should be the only one with a gun. Like, if I'm out of bullets, I don't want to have to charge a guy with a pistol with my wrench and a fireball.
Is fair.
I mean, to be fair, fireball is pretty good, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
The incinerate plasma, and once again, plasmas are basically the magic system. Really cool.
Yeah.
Love them. Bioshock's a great franchise, and to think it was thought up by a woman, it's even...
Okay, that kind of sounds a little wrong.
That sounds incredibly sexist. That is not the point.
But no, that's not the point. We're just saying...
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm glad that it wasn't...
Bioshock is a really cool game, and
the person who made it, incredibly cool person.
Yep.
To my knowledge, they are not a monster in any way, shape, or form.
To our knowledge. We don't know.
I've done a little bit of research. Nothing popped up that seemed...
Like big controversies that
They're
kind of
not
popped
doctor
up.
disrespecting minors, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
They seem to be normal people, which is good.
Yeah, that's great.
Same with the Tomb Raider. I'm a creative
They're not
director.
They're not a what's his name? Justin Roiland. They're not Roilanding around the office.
Forgot about him. Oh man, yeah. To think that show got. I think that show's still going. It's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, then there's we already kind of talked about Tomb Raider. Then we talked about BioShock.
Yeah,
So I guess Portal.
I mean, yeah, Portal's a great game.
Yeah.
I love Portal 2. That is my favorite game.
Yeah. Yeah, we love Portal. Portal's a really great game.
It is. Honestly, I can't think of a better puzzle game.
It's a really simple concept.
Yeah.
And it works. It works so well.
Man, you could really say they were thinking with portals when they made it. Just that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
You try thinking of puns on the spot. That's really hard to do, you know.
Yeah. I'm really glad they made it. Yeah. It was easy.
That was worse than mine. How dare
But it
you.
made sense.
Okay, so what? I'm not mad about
+2. +2 to my job.
No, that's a -5, dog.
Anyway, yeah, back to Portal. Portal's a great game.
It's a great game. The characters are great. For there being only like 2 speaking characters in the entire game,
in Portal 2, there's only like 2 speaking characters, and then in Portal... Actually, no. In Portal 2, there's like 3. Actually, maybe 4.
I mean, oh well, yeah.
Because there's J.K. Simmons.
Every time I hear his voice, when life gives you lemons, I'm going to...
J.K. Simmons, Wheatley,
Oh, dude,
which is great. I love Wheatley.
Banging, man.
GLaDOS, and then
turrets.
probably the turrets.
The turrets are a minor character, but they got so much personality.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Especially the defective ones. I love them.
Those are great. The incredibly violent ones that as soon as they're on their side, like, oh, help, please, put me down. I don't...
Yeah. GLaDOS.
Yeah, that's the robot.
Yeah, that's the robot. We love GLaDOS.
I love GLaDOS. She's like the best sarcastic tester?
Tester.
I
Yeah,
guess.
Tester. Yeah,
I mean,
Tester.
yes, and then she becomes the potato. I'm not kidding. That is
Yep,
actually...
she becomes a potato.
I love Valve games, man.
Valve makes some great games.
Man, like Team Fortress 2, or Half-Life, or Half-Life Alyx, which was a really good VR game.
Or what else? What else did Valve make?
They made
Portal.
CS:GO.
See,
They did. They made
Yeah.
CS. They made most of the CS games. That's
Yeah.
that's another one of their franchises. It's actually an offshoot of Half-Life, believe it or not. It's
Really?
yeah, they all use the Source engine. Every game uses the Source engine.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was like,
Yeah, it
you know,
was
type
yeah, it was basically
Half-Life.
it was the multiplayer of Half-Life, and then they branched it off and then made CS:GO
Oh, I
and
didn't
Left
know
4
that.
Dead,
Oh yeah, Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead, Payday 2, Half-Life 2.
Oh, are you talking about the
CS:GO.
Source engine?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like the multiple iterations of Source and the open source games.
Yeah, because I was thinking about like Valve made specific
Yeah,
games, because
CS:GO.
Payday
Half-Life.
isn't a Valve game.
No, Payday isn't a Valve game, but
but it was made using the Source engine.
But it also, well, not really. It was made using a different engine. The Overkill team had a different engine entirely. But the Overkill team did, however, get a Left 4 Dead collab. They got the Medford Hospital.
Okay, so then, Dead by Daylight is an extension too, because they have Bill.
That's,
They have Bill.
yeah, but Payday, you get to rob the green flu from the hospital.
Yeah, but you get to play as Bill.
Yeah, we can also play as Alan Wake and Nemesis. So,
I love Nemesis though.
okay, who doesn't like
Yeah, and
Nemesis?
Wesker. I love Wesker.
Yeah,
We're getting way off topic.
Yes, we are.
We need to talk about the Resident Evil games. I love those games.
We should talk about the Resident Evil games.
We'll do that after.
after next episode, which will be Star Wars related.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about
Force Unleashed.
and
Got it right this time.
and Outlaws.
And Outlaws. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. There isn't really much to
I
say
really didn't have much to say outside of just.
other than like $100 for Jabba the Hutt.
It's also like mega like
It's
boring.
like mid.
I wouldn't say mid. Like it just doesn't. It's just. Not,
It's not a bad. It's not a bad game. It's just boring.
But that's the thing. I think it is a bad game. A boring bad game. It's not like Ghost Recon Wildlands where like
I mean, they had a good idea. It's just it was
executed so
boring.
poorly. Listen, Outlaws is a whole debacle. We can get into next episode. This episode, just
Women.
gonna get back on track. It's Women's History Month.
Yeah.
Women made some great games.
Yep, and they are continuing to make great games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remembered Outlaws and Dustporn that also had women leads, women lead directors. And then I remember that those games sucked.
Not every game is a hit.
No,
Not
to be
every
fair,
game
that
is-
can be said for any studio.
Yeah, not every game is a hit, but
Yeah. I can think of some pretty bad games actually at the top of. Speaking of bad
Yeah.
games, I just need to talk about this. I already forgot the bad game I was going to talk about.
God.
I mean, Avowed's pretty good still. It's
Yeah.
I would say like out of every game I've played this month, it is
Avowed
the
is
most.
the best.
No, that'd be a lie. I'd take that back. Avowed is the most mid game I've ever seen. It is absolutely what I would call a 5.5 out of 10.
Really?
Yes.
You were glazing it so hard last time.
I know. Then I played more of it, and then I realized that yeah, no, it's still mid.
So it's not a great game, but it's not like a.
It is not bad. Like as much
Yeah,
as
it's
people
like middle of the road.
as much as people say it's bad, it's not bad. The combat is fun enough to carry it, in my opinion.
But the story's kind of.
To be fair,
Kinda
Obsidian's
weak.
stories have always been weak. The only thing good is when they do side content for their main story. That's
Yeah.
when the main story gets good because there's all this extra lore that makes the main story actually better.
Except for Fallout New Vegas.
Actually, that's my prime example of that being the case. Fallout New Vegas' main story is mid as hell. However,
Yeah.
with all the DLC, the main story is like a 10 out of... that's a bit high. It's like a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
New Vegas' DLC do a lot of carrying story-wise. And I honestly just think that's the truth. I think Obsidian is great at writing stories when they don't focus on the main story.
Yeah.
Just like every Fallout, where it's like, you could do the main story, but you could do the side content, which is a bit more interesting than the main story.
Yeah, 'cause, like-
unless you're Fallout 2. In that case, the main story is more important because there's Frank Horrigan, and Frank Horrigan is the main story.
Yeah. And then there's Fallout 4, which is. The story's weird.
I'm gonna be honest, there's so much wasted potential with the whole Nick and Kellogg thing. That
Yeah.
actually upset me because they could have done like a...
DLC about it.
Or they could have made it part of the base game, made it part of his storyline. Maybe,
but-
I don't know.
But then all you kind of see is just like little
It could
tidbits
have
of
been
it.
like a companion quest like they had for New Vegas, where
Yeah.
depending on your actions, that would change how your companion becomes. Instead of Nick, you now have Kellogg in Nick's body, and he gets like a damage boost, starts using a 44 revolver,
Yeah.
and acts more like a,
Mercenary.
Kellogg. But no, instead we get like one little snippet of dialogue hinting at that cool concept. And then they never elaborated on it again.
Yep.
But you know what game does do that concept really well?
What?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Like the main story?
Yes. Keanu Reeves in your head. I know his name's Johnny Silverhand. I call him Keanu Reeves
Because it is Keanu Reeves.
it's just Keanu Reeves, dog.
Or Shadow the Hedgehog.
Ah, yes, Shadow the Hedgehog versus Adam Smash, the truest battle of all time. My favorite matchups.
I love Keanu
really.
Reeves being in almost everything.
Oh yes, I remember when John Wick from The Matrix fought with Shadow the Hedgehog, fighting
God.
cybernetic soldiers. That was
Yeah.
really the best moment of all time.
But yeah, Cyberpunk had a great story. Edge Runners also had a great story.
Edge Runners was a good anime. I'm gonna be honest. That was
Yeah.
a great anime.
Edge Runners was great.
Its ending was just so damn sad, though, man. Everyone
Yeah.
just died. That's it. Just dead.
Yep.
I mean, hey, man, it makes sense. That's just the way Night City is.
Yeah.
Good endings in that city, man. Wrong city,
Yeah,
wrong
that's
people.
yeah, wrong city.
But yeah, no, I think Cyberpunk handled the, two brains, one body situation way better than Fallout 4 even attempted. They like hint
Well, that
at-
was like halfway. That was kind of halfway through the story too,
It's
because
not even halfway through the story. If you just beeline the main story, that is like the first that's like the first quarter of the game.
Yeah, because you go ahead and try and find Kellogg. And
You can
then
immediately skip straight to where Nick is being held captive, immediately get him to go through Kellogg's house, and then you
Yeah.
can immediately fight him at Fort Hagen. It is so fast that honestly, without side content, the main storyline is quite literally just like a 25-minute adventure.
Yeah.
In game time, it's probably like 2 days. Like, you go out the vault. You're unthought. Either a lawyer or a soldier, depending on who you picked as your character.
Yeah.
And you can immediately kill the guy who kidnapped your son. And now you gotta fight the Institute. And now... Oh, don't even start on the memory den sequence, where they show you all this interesting character bits of Kellogg, showing that, wow,
This guy
he was
was
an interesting character. This
Yeah.
would have been really cool. He was really deep, and he was kind of a badass. Kind of when he did that epic takedown on 4 Synths with just the 44. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool. But they never elaborated on it.
Yep,
so
it was just that little memory bit.
They wrote such a good character, they had to have you kill him off and then never bring him back. And I'm still
Yep.
so mad that they did not do anything with him being in Valentine's Day. That would have been such a great storyline.
I think they did do like a little bit, maybe like a few like throwaway lines.
It's just a singular
it.
throwaway line right after you exit
Yeah.
the memory den. It's like he's sitting there, you talk, Kellogg says something about, I'm always here,
Yeah.
and one of these days I'm gonna get my revenge, and then he never does anything.
Yep, and then he never
literally
does
just
everything.
talks. And then when you ask Nick about, like, oh, it must have been some leftover processing, blah, 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 let's go find Virgil in the glowing sea from Devil May Cry.
Yeah. We need to talk about Devil May. We've got 3 topics we gotta talk
We have
about
a
because
lot
I
of things
love
we could talk
DMC5.
But yeah,
But
missed opportunity, honestly. I don't
now
think
we
I-
should probably get back to like
Speaking of not missed opportunities, BioShock. I really feel BioShock
Yeah.
2 is just a really good follow-up story.
Yeah.
I'm honestly glad Infinite didn't continue in Rapture, because I feel like after BioShock 2, it just really wrapped everything up, and that
Yeah.
just made everything better.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, I'm happy with the way BioShock 1 ends and BioShock 2 ends.
Yeah.
It is genuinely great. Honestly, BioShock and the new Tomb Raider trilogy, really good games, solid games.
Yeah.
I love the new Tomb.
And then Portal
Actually,
hasn't had anything for like a decade now.
they've had like references and Easter eggs. And
Yeah, in
occasional
other
DLC.
games, but when did Portal? You keep talking. I'm just trying to find when Portal 2 came out.
But I love the Tomb Raider trilogy. It's a great trilogy, honestly. The games are incredibly fun. I love the minor survival aspects. They're not.
Yep, it's been a
super-
decade.
Damn, that's crazy.
April 18th, 2011.
Damn,
Yeah, Portal 2 came out a good while ago.
that's a wow. I was born in 2008. Wow.
Yeah, we were 3 years old when Portal came out.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
It's wild to think
it's
about.
wacky.
It's
A little
wild.
zany even.
Yeah, no, the Tomb Raider trilogy, great games, honestly. I love them.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, Uncharted. I think it was Uncharted 4. I don't know if it was a whole thing.
Uncharted 4's game director had a female.
We did about like 3 minutes of research total.
Well, I did a bit more research on BioShock and Tomb Raider because I play those games
and I've played Portal 2, so I know a good amount about that, and I love Wheatley.
I've never played Uncharted, so I couldn't really speak too much.
I got it when I got my PS4. It came with it, but then my mom saw the rating and was like, "Nuh-uh," and kind of just like got rid of it. So I never played any of the Uncharted games.
Have you reinstalled it?
No, it literally came in like a disc.
Oh, and you just chucked the disc. Oh.
Yeah, probably like exchanged it for maybe like another game or something.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was like 7 at the time, and that was like a mature game, and my
I'm
parents
also pretty
kind of.
sure a 7-year-old could not play Uncharted without like going downhill quickly. I
played Star Wars Battlefront 2 at like 8 or 9, and I was like freaking out because I didn't know what the heck R3 was.
I used to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PSP. I'm talking about the original.
The original.
One from like I think 2008, I believe.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I believe 2008. Yeah, that one is so fun, man. The space combat was so in depth.
Yep.
On the Xbox, the PSP had none of that cool in-depth space combat. Well, it had some of it, not all of it though.
Because it's a PSP. That's
the PSP being able to render the entirety of the 501st campaign was legendary, along with the Bounty Hunter mode, which is not on the Xbox version for some reason, where you play as Jango Fett and hunt down targets. That mode is apparently exclusive to the PSP, and I'm still so mad about that because I would love to play it on my Xbox in HD. If you cannot tell, that has made me incredibly upset because of it's such a cool game mode.
But I have one thing that I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 does better than 1. Space Vietnam. The Ewok mode.
Okay, Battlefront 2, the EA version, not the original by Lucasfilm, by Lucas Games. The new one's Ewok mode. That was incredibly fun. I think
that is still so fun even today.
It is a great game.
Like you grab a bunch of friends and you play that, or you just play with like randoms, and that is still so fun.
It's good. It's a good game mode. I like it.
It's a good game mode.
It's a very good game mode. I think personally that game mode is really good.
Yeah.
But I just like the original a lot more. Mainly because I love the like Total War of Conquest and Galactic Conquest. Galactic Conquest was so fun. The fact that it had a potential multiplayer mode that I sadly will never get to play still hurts so much.
It hurts.
Because it was basically like Risk, but you get to control the troops when you take over planets and destroy ships. It was so fun. I loved Galactic Conquest. My favorite group to play as was the Galactic Republic because
the clones.
Yeah, I loved clones. It was great.
Yeah.
And honestly, I learned how to min-max that group so effectively that I could play any character and just immediately become God among men. I'm not kidding. The second I got the award rifle, I became unbeatable. I'm not joking. I was, like, I would capture a command post, kill like 15 droids. I got the award rifle, and I was basically the Doomslayer.
You were basically just God.
I was ripping and tearing them droids apart. And I did so well that I never had to waste money on, like, upgrades. I occasionally bought the Garrison upgrade because it was nice, and nice temporary upgrade. I would sometimes get troops, sometimes I'd get the Engineer because a shotgun and being able to heal and give myself ammo on the fly was kind of OP.
Yeah.
And the award shotgun was kind of, like, busted. Along with the award, honestly, a lot of the award weapons were just so much better than the default spawning weapon.
Yeah.
Except for the DC-15 for the clones. That gun is pretty good. It's just if you had sustained fire, it would become like inaccurate as all hell. Whereas the award rifle,
where it was like stormtrooper aim.
It was a burst fire with the award rifle. The award rifle was a beam, and it was so good. I love Battlefront 2. If you cannot tell, that game. Is...
Battlefront 1.
No, it's Battlefront 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Battlefront 1 is a different game. And then there's also Battlefront 1 by EA and Battlefront 2 by EA.
Oh, there are two different... I didn't know there were two different versions.
Yeah, Battlefront 2 2016, I believe, is the one made by Lucasfilms. The one before that was also made by Lucasfilms. That one had more in-depth ground combat, to my knowledge. Like, you could go prone and roll, and to my knowledge. I haven't played it. I've considered buying it, but I don't know. The second one's objectively just my favorite, and I have a lot of nostalgia for it, so I see that one a lot more favorably. No, I love Battlefront 2. It's a great game.
Oh, this one, the old one for the PS2.
Yep.
Okay, I thought you were talking about
That one's also on the Xbox, by the way.
I thought you were talking about Battlefront 2, like the most recent one.
Well, no, I'm talking about Battlefront 2, like the first one.
Yeah.
The good one. And then Battlefront 2, the okay one.
Yeah. Anyway, we kind of got very sidetracked, but women in video games, cool. Women characters, cool. Women creating video games, cool. Cool.
I got nothing else to add, really. We got to yap about a bunch of games I enjoy playing. And, this is pretty fun. Thanks for watching.